What if I told you someone decided how much they respect you within 7 seconds of meeting you? Before you finished your first sentence, before you explained who you are, before you had a chance to be yourself. And here's the creepy part. You do it too, without realizing it. Tonight, we're uncovering the dark psychology behind first impressions, why they're terrifyingly powerful, why they're almost impossible to reverse, and how people are silently judging you right now. Imagine walking into a room. You don't speak. You don't introduce yourself. You don't even smile. Yet within milliseconds, brains around you are asking, are they a threat? Are they useful? Are they attractive? Are they dominant? Are they safe? This isn't conscious. It's primal. Psychologists call it thin slicing, a concept popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book, Blink. Thin slicing means we form deep judgments based on tiny fragments of information, a glance, a posture, a tone of voice. Your brain loves speed more than accuracy, and that's where things get dangerous. Because once that first judgment is made, your brain will fight to protect it, even if it's wrong. There's something called the halo effect. If someone appears confident, attractive, or calm, we assume they're intelligent, capable, trustworthy. No evidence needed. This bias was first studied by psychologist Edward Thorndike in the early 1900s. He discovered that one positive trait blinds us. It spills over into everything else. If someone looks put together, we subconsciously assume their ideas are better. Now flip it. If someone looks nervous, uncertain, awkward, their intelligence gets underestimated, their competence doubted, all within seconds. And here's the unsettling part. The person being judged has no idea it's happening. Once a first impression forms, your brain enters defense mode. This is called confirmation bias. You don't look for truth. You look for proof that your first judgment was correct. If you decided someone is arrogant, you'll notice every confident sentence as ego. If you decided someone is shy, you'll interpret their silence as weakness. Even neutral behavior becomes evidence. Your brain would rather stay consistent than admit it was wrong. Which means first impressions don't just happen. They trap people. Think about someone you instantly disliked. Now ask yourself, did they actually do something wrong? Or did your brain simply file them into a category and lock the door? Scarier question. How many people have done that to you? How many opportunities died quietly because someone misread your energy for 7 seconds? But here's where it gets even darker. First impressions aren't just about like or dislike. They're about power. Humans evolved to detect hierarchy instantly. Before language, survival depended on knowing who leads, who follows, who threatens. Research shows posture, eye contact, and vocal tone heavily influence perceived dominance. Stand tall? Oh, you're seen as competent. Speak slowly? You're seen as confident. Break eye contact too quickly? You're seen as uncertain. And once someone mentally assigns you a rank, they interact with you accordingly. They interrupt you more, or listen more carefully, or dismiss your ideas faster, all because of a snap judgment your body made for you. Here's the twist most people miss. You're not just being judged. You're also manipulating impressions constantly, without realizing it. The clothes you pick, the tone you use, the way you walk into a room. It's subconscious strategy because deep down, we know first impressions stick. Studies show that once a first impression is formed, it takes significantly more positive interactions to change it than it took to create it. One awkward moment can outweigh 5 good ones. Why? Because negative information feels more diagnostic, more meaningful. Your brain thinks, if something feels off, I should remember it. So it does. This is why interviews, first dates, and introductions feel high stakes. They are. Not because people are logical, but because they're fast. So here's the creepy truth. First impressions aren't about who you are. They're about how quickly someone's brain can categorize you, accurate or not. And once you're categorized, You become a story in their head, not a person, a story. Now imagine this. If you can control the first 7 seconds, you can control the narrative, the room, the perception, the power dynamic. The real question is, are people seeing the real you, or just a shortcut their brain invented? And how often are you doing the same to others? If you enjoyed this deep dive into hidden psychology, subscribe to Neuro, because next time, we're uncovering something even darker. Why humans secretly enjoy watching others fail. And once you see it, you won't unsee it.